Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Today I'm going to teach you related to alkenes. Okay. Alkenes. Are you audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you have some previous knowledge related to alkanes. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking today, I want to discuss almost. Uh, excuse me.
Part of the board is visible on the board. That is your
Yeah.
location.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If you write somewhere here, then this is not visible to you.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah,
Look, no.
that's why I put it on the full.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So alkenes. So what are the major portions I'm going to discussing? Okay. First one is introduction. Introduction. In that time, I'm discussing some related to what do you mean by alkenes, how it generated, what are the general formula, common matters. Okay. Second one, I'm going to discussing nomenclature. Okay. And then third one, nomenclature, you know how to provide names for them. Okay. So nomenclature is there. Second one, isomerism. This is another isomerism. Okay. And then next point is isomerism, you already know, I think. Okay. So isomerism is there. Then fourth one, some chemical properties is there. Then chemical reaction, we can call it as chemical reaction is there. Okay. Isomerism, nomenclature, then preparation. These are the preparation. Chemical reactions, preparation. Okay. So in chemical reaction, we want to definitely you want to know about the one that is I'm going to discussing about oxidation reaction. Okay. Second one is oxidation is there related to KMnO4. You know, one of the famous oxidizing agent is KMnO4. What are the reactions of KMnO4? Okay. And then KMnO4 is there. Oxidation. Then some ozonolysis is there. Are you familiar with ozonolysis, students? Ozonolysis?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we will study. Wait. Okay. So ozonolysis is there. Oxidation is there. Some little bit major reactions. These are the things. Okay. What I am going to discussing today. Okay. So first one is introduction. In introduction time, you know, alkenes. Alkene is how we will represent. For example, it is a double bonded carbon. Carbon is in between double bonded. Okay. So students, look here. This double bonded, so how they are forming? One is sigma bond. Okay. Another one is pi bond. You know. But this pi bond is not much stable. At any time, it can break. Okay. How it will break? This is our second question. In the presence of some electrophile, electrophiles are electron deficient species, right? So E plus, we can specify like this. Why putting is the positive charge here? Because they are electron deficient. Okay. So while the attacking of electrophile over here, what happened is the double bond going to break, right? So definitely you can predict. We can suppose some addition. We will discuss it later. Okay, these are the major things we want to discuss. Okay. So introduction and also one more thing. Sorry. Okay. So this is not stable. It can easily break pi bond. Okay, sigma bond is stable, very strong, but pi bond is not like that. And then second one, this bond length around 1 point carbon bond length, it is around 1.34 Armstrong. We can specify like that. Okay, 1.34 Armstrong, and then it's energy is there. So some dissociation energy, you know, bond energy like that. So that amount of energy now is around 132 kilojoule per mole something. Okay, you want to keep it in mind. These are the bond dissociation energy, then this bond length, then sp2 hybridization. These are undergo sp2 hybridization. Are you familiar with sp2 hybridization, students? I think
Yes, ma'am.
you know now, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. No need to specify sp2. So what about the angle? Then 120 na? 120 is the bond angle like this. Okay, don't worry about that. So this much only, and then anything pending for introduction? Nothing. This much only. Okay. Next one. So introduction is over. Second one, that is nomenclature. Okay. I think you are familiar with the nomenclature of alkane right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, okay, suppose students, what do you want to do? For example, I will giving an example. CH2, double bond C, CH3, and then it is in the chain again CH3. Okay, this is your question. So, students, tell me how you will name this one. Okay, wait a second. I will help you in the first question. Look, what do you want to memorize? You want to numbering is one of the important factor, right? So where you want to number? Look, students, suppose we are numbering from here in this carbon, 1, 2nd, and 3rd. No issue. Where it will just opposite side, 1, 2, 3. No issue. Okay, so you can choose. This is a symmetrical alkene. Why symmetrical alkene? Because if we putting so no issue for numbering. Okay, so suppose we are choosing like this, 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, so what about the name? You want to specify alkene. So tell me first of all, in the branch methyl group is there now. So how you will name? 2 is here, and then methyl, 2 methyl, then parent name, root name. What is that? Alkene. Sorry, 2 methyl, 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon is there now. So which one? Propene. So 2 methyl propene. This is the name. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once again, I am repeating. You want to name 1, 2, 3. In this compound is no issue, because in any manner, if you are numbering 1, 2, 3, no issue. Okay, one thing. Okay. Suppose, 1, 2, 3. If we are naming 1, 2, 3, double bond is 2 methyl, 1 ene means proper 1 ene. Proper 1 ene. Where is your double bond? After first carbon, suppose you are numbering from like this side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So it is 2 methyl. That is correct. 2 methyl proper, and then which number is given the carbon containing double bond? 2 na? So 2 ene. This is not good. Least number rule we want to choose. Okay. So this actual name is 2 methyl proper 1 ene. This is wrong. This method of numbering is wrong, and then this kind of numbering is right. Clear, students? Can I wrap?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one, and one more example. Okay, this become more familiar. Is not complicated, but is this kind of question you can expect during your exam. That's why. Okay, so that is CH3, CH2, CH2. Then in branch they are giving CH. Here we want to put here CH3. Okay, and then again CH double bond is there. Note down this question. You can solve yourself. Okay. Then in chain CH2 and then CH3 is there. Okay. And then in the continuous chain CH2, you can note down and then you want to solve it yourself. Okay. CH2, then CH3 is there. Again, here is the CH3. Okay. I want to check again. It's correct or not. CH3, CH2, CH2. Okay. CH, then branch CH double bond CH. This is your problem. How you will?
Right side. Right
Like
side.
Okay.
Little.
Okay.
So this part is not visible.
Not visible.
CH3, CH2. this part is not visible.
Okay.
Okay, this is your borderline. But little bit. This is your limit. This is your
This one, sir?
we have an issue with the camera.
Okay.
Somewhere you can write.
Can I move there? Okay. Students, sorry. I want to adjust the board. Okay. Wait, I will. CH. Now it's visible, students?
No,
CH
ma'am. It was visible first time also.
is not visible.
It was visible before also.
Okay. Now can I continue?
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So CH3 is a big compound. I want to write it again. CH3, CH2, again CH2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again CH2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then there is a branch. Okay. It is branch, and then we want to provide CH. Here is CH3. Then CH is there. CH is there. And then double bond C in branch CH2, CH3 in branch. And here again you want to put another branch. Okay. C is there, then CH2, CH in branch CH3, again CH3. Okay. Students, this is your problem. How you will approach this question. Okay. I will help you how. Let's start to numbering. Student, this is a long chain. How it look like? It's a long chain. No? Look, 1, 2, 3. Suppose imagine like this. How many carbon is in the long chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you understood this root name is deck. Means major name is deck. Deck means carbon containing 10 carbon is there. No? So this is a root name. Okay, deck is there. Then how you will go into numbering? Which side you will choose? I already told you the double bond containing carbon should provide least number. So suppose we are choosing numbering from like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 9, 10. What about this numbering? Is it good? Look,
No, ma'am.
this carbon containing double bond, this is around 6. Suppose I am going to numbering ulta. I am choosing with another ink. Okay, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So which side is preferable? Students, tell me. This side or blue side or black side? Blacking side.
From right to left.
Blue side.
Yeah, right to left. This kind of. Okay. So then tell me, what about the name? Okay, we can see that fourth containing ethyl group. Also, you know, you are familiar with the nomenclature. I no need to explanation, right? So in nomenclature, you know the alphabetic order you want to keep. Okay, so you are familiar, I think. So how you will name this compound? Suppose you want to start where? From where? Look here, 4-ethyl. In the fourth carbon containing ethyl. Why here methyl group is there, na students? Here is a methyl. And then another methyl is also here. Why we not consider this one? Because we want to keep an alphabetical manner. Methyl, ethyl come first and then methyl only. Right? So 4-ethyl we are choosing fourth carbon. We are choosing this method, this side, like this, choose like this. Okay. So 4 containing methyl group, and then followed by you want to specify 4 methyl, and then how many ethyl, 4 ethyl and how many methyl are present here in the second carbon and sixth carbon containing methyl group. So 4 ethyl, and then you want to specify. How you want to specify? Here is 2, na? 2, 6, 2, 6. Then how many methyl group is there? 2, na? So dimethyl. Okay. Dimethyl. 4 ethyl, 4 containing ethyl, and then 2 and 6th carbon containing dimethyl, not one di. You want to specify this also. Okay, don't make mark here. Dimethyl and then root name. What about the root name? Decane. Now, decene. Decene. Then decene is there, right? But you need to specify the double bond is in where. Okay, so decene is over, but you want to specify complete. While you are providing a name, you want to specify the complete details. Otherwise, it's no useless. It's not useless, no, of course. So here is double bond is here. Okay, where is occur? The 4th carbon ke baad this double bond. So you need to specify that also. So 4 ethyl, this is correct. 4 ethyl, 2 6 dimethyl is correct. This much, and then dec is correct, and then you want to specify the where is the double bond is presenting. Okay, so 4th carbon and 4-ene. This is the correct name. Clear, students? I choose this a big question because if you are able to solve this one, everything is simple. Okay, that's why. So this one only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number first. You want to first of all you want to number, and then you want to consider how much is presenting in the chain, and you want to specify the numbers also. So 4 ethyl, 4 containing ethyl in alphabetical manner, and then methyl is in 2 times they are repeating. So in second position also, and then in the position of 6th carbon also. Okay, and then you want to specify di means 2 methyl group is there. That's why di. You want to specify dimethyl, and then dec is the root name, and then you want to specify where is a double bond is presenting there. Okay, in the 4th position double bond is there. So 4. This is a setup. Okay, this much enough for nomenclature. Okay, with the limitation of time, I want to cover a lot of things. Okay, then what about the isomerism? This is our second one. Are you familiar with isomerism, students? I think you are familiar with isomerism. Am I right? Isomerism.
Yes, ma'am.
In isomerism, I will tell what once again. Okay, isomerism is containing similar formula but different structure. Same formula and different structure. It's common, you already know everything, but we can directly go into some applicational parts that is pending there. So isomerism again, it's classified into geometrical isomerism, structural isomerism, lot of types are there. Sorry, major classification isomerism, I think you are familiar. Structural isomerism, and then stereoisomerism, structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. There are 2 major classifications. Lot of then can you tell me? Or means chain isomerism, functional group isomerism, then chain isomerism, functional group isomerism, then positional isomerism. Positional. You are familiar, Anna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So positional isomerism, functional group isomerism, chain isomerism, ionization isomerism. So a lot of things are there. Okay, leave it, but if you want to concentrate here, stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism are classified into geometrical isomerism. Okay, geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Okay, in geometrical isomerism, another name is cis-trans isomerism. Do you know about cis and trans? What do you mean by cis and trans? Do you know, students? No idea, I think. Okay. So anyway, optical isomerism is also there. So this is the major skeleton. Okay. Now I am going to concentrate more for structural, little bit structural in point of view of alkene. We are concentrating alkene, how the isomerism is working out. Okay. So we are start to discussing some isomerism. related thing. They are alkene, so structural isomerism. Structural isomerism. Structural isomerism. Look here. I will give some examples, students. Look, CH2, double bond CH, and then CH2, CH3. This is the one thing. So count how many carbon is here, students. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon, C4. Okay. Then how many hydrogen is present? Hydrogen. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. C4H. This is the formula. So structure is this one and then formula is this one. Okay. Another formula I will create. CH2. Suppose CH2. CH2. Then here I am putting. Okay. 1. Okay. Suppose I want to like this. Okay. So here is CH3, na? CH3. Okay. Have a look on here. What about the change? It's balanced, na? Look here. How many carbons? C4. How many hydrogen? Same formula is repeating, but different in their structure. First of all, this is 1 butane. This is 2 butane. 1 butane because 1, 2, 3, 4. We are numbering, starting numbering from here. 1, 2, 3. So 1 butane, this one, 1 butane. And the second one, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2 butane. 2 butane. Why they are changed, students? Because they have the same formula. That is structural isomerism, the same formula, but different structures are there. Right? So that's why we are call it as structural isomerism. Means they have a different structure, but formula wise everything is similar. Look, formula wise C4H8 here, and here is a formula C4H8. Clear? So formula wise is okay, but structure wise is different. 1 butane, this one, this is 2 butane, but everything number wise is everything is equal. Now this is the difference. Okay, this is called a structural isomerism. Understood? Can I wrap?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Structural isomerism also in point of view of alkene. You want to think about that. This is our major point. Okay. Alkene is our focus. Alkene is our focus. Okay. Isomerism. One more pending. That is geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. Geometrical isomerism. What do you mean by geometrical isomerism? Suppose, students. Suppose, are you familiar with the 3D? 3-dimensional arrangement? I think is familiar, no? 3D. Suppose this is a ball. Okay. If suppose it's a common example I will put. Carbon, methane, CH4 and a methane. Okay. So here carbon is there. Okay. Then 1 hydrogen is in the plane. 2 hydrogens are in the plane. And then something is in the out of plane, is backside. And then one is in the in front of the plane. Okay, this is the structure of methane, CH4. Okay, so here we can see that 1 hydrogen is backside. It is not visible to you. But 1 hydrogen is in front of, means, how can I suppose? Look now, students. This one carbon is here. And then this is hydrogen. This is, suppose this is in the plane. Okay, and then this one is backside of you. This one is, this one and this hydrogen for blue pen, and this hydrogen is black pen is in front of me. So actually it is look like, okay, it's actually looking, this is pointing out towards you, but he is away from you. This is away from you. This hydrogen is towards you. So this hydrogen it's not visible to you. You want to imagine it is backside carbon, not in the plane. It is backside, is the front side. This is the major difference. Okay. So this kind of 3-dimensional arrangement in space. You want to arrange everything in a space, and 3D is in the space. Not in 2D we can in the plane, but 3D is in the space. Okay. Means X, Y, Z, you know, these are everything you are familiar. Means X direction, Y direction, this is Z direction. Sorry, this is, Z direction. So, This is a three-dimensional format. So the isomerism can be imagined, we can imagine plan in the isomerism in three-dimensional manner also. For that specification, we are using stereoisomerism. Stereo isomerism we are using, representing the structure in the three-dimensional manner in space. Okay, so one of the major, I already told you in the beginning of section, the isomerism, they are classified into structural isomerism, stereoisomerism. Structural we discussed, open chain, then position isomerism, everything we already discussed. Now the pending that one, that is stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism can be classified into geometrical isomerism as well as optical. Nowadays, we are concentrating more for alkene, so geometrical isomerism is more important. Okay, so in geometrical isomerism, already in space. Okay, we want to solve some example. Students, while you are learning anything, first of all, you want to memorize the theory first, and you want to solve more and more questions. Okay, then the question will always stuck in your brain. Okay, so while you are attending any competitive exam or anything, the solving question more and more. I think you are familiar with the others teachers will guide you very much. Okay, but I'm in my point of view, in the chemistry point of view, I'm telling that practice more and more questions. Okay. So in geometrical isomerism, we want to some example we want to discuss. Geometrical. Students, look, have a look on here. Suppose in the example C double bond C, here is CH3 and here is also CH3 and then hydrogen is hydrogen. Okay, students, what happens? CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3. This is your product. This is your compound. One. In geometrical isomerism, how you want to represent? You can represent it in the two format. Okay. What are the format? First one is cis isomerism. Second one is trans isomerism. Right? Cis and trans. Okay. So students, have a look on here. What I'm drawing. Students, look. See hydrogen here. And then CH3 is here, and then putting double bond in between them, and then he's putting again carbon, then hydrogen is here, and then CH3 is here. Look, what you want to note down, what about the position of alkyl group here? Here are two alkyl groups in the same plane of double bond. Am I right? Students? Okay, so here methyl group, here is the methyl group. These are same plane, but hydrogens are also keeping the same plane. So similar groups are seen in the same plane and then same side. Okay, this is a double bond of carbon. This one is this. Look, CH3, this is a CH3 and CH, C, carbon, then H, double bond, then C. This is a hydrogen, H, then CH3. I'm representing in the another manner, means alkane manner. Okay, then note down. What about the position? Hydrogen is same position, and then alkyl group is also similar position. So this type of alkene is called cis alkene. Cis alkene. Okay, note down. These kind of alkenes are called cis alkene. Another kind, so cis is over. Like this, you can represent cis alkene. And what about trans alkene? Do you have any idea about trans alkene, students? I will explain you. Once again, carbon is there. Okay. Then hydrogen I put here. Then double bond, same compound. Carbon double bond is here, and then here is. Then hydrogen is in opposite direction, not in the same direction. This is a major difference. So C, H and H. Then here is CH3. Here is CH3. This format, that is called trans alkene. Clear? Cis alkene means hydrogens are same side. Trans alkene means hydrogens are opposite side. This one. Have a look. Methyl group is also opposite side. So this type of alkene is called the trans alkene, and this one is cis alkene. Clear? So a lot of example you want to practice. Okay. So anyway, more information. I'm providing you more and more information related to cis and trans alkene. That is, you want to memorize. Students, Suppose in cis alkene is dipole moment and dipole moment is not equal to 0, but trans alkene is dipole moment is equal to 0. There is a chance. And then this is more stable. Trans is more stable, but cis is less stable. Less stable. Why? Because look now, while your arrangement, suppose hydrogen and hydrogen is here. Here similar groups are same plane and same side of the double bond. So it is making some repulsion. Making repulsion. What happened? So it is more energy after repulsion, it is become more energetic. Am I right? So what happened? After repulsion, it is more energetic. As a result, is going to less stable. So more energy, less stable. But in the case of trans, what happened? Both hydrogens are in far apart. These are not two in the same side. It is far apart now. That's why the repulsion become minimized here. So energy become increase here. Okay, energy become decreases. Repulsion increases. Repulsion decreases. So the energy decreases. So stability increases. You know, you are familiar with how the energy is connected to stability. Energy decreases, repulsion decreases, so stability becomes, because these are same groups, and their same groups are far apart. No more attachment. Look, but in the cis case, hydrogen and hydrogens are near to each other, so there is a chance of repulsion. That's why. So less stable is more stable. Clear? Okay. So isomerism is over in my point of view of alkene. We are concentrating more for alkene. What about the isomerism? Okay. So isomerism is also over. The next one is preparation. Preparation. Okay, students. I think you are familiar. Suppose CR, triple bond CR dash. Okay. This is a compound. We are going to make an addition. This is triple bond. What is this? Alkene or alkyne? Alkyne. This is alkyne. Single bond is alkene. You know, double bond is alkene. Then triple bond is alkyne. Keep it in mind. In the upcoming section, I will. We want to handle alkyne also. This is over, I think. This is over. Now this is going on, and it will in your future. Okay. So anyway, alkynes. So this is alkyne. Means triple bonded compounds are called alkynes. We are going to add with hydrogen. Okay. How? What is happened? Look here. C is there. R is there. This bond and this bond is going to break. Okay. Then hydrogen is also H2 manner. No? Look. H and H is a bonded manner. This is also here. Triple bonded. Okay. This is going to, our aim is preparation of alkenes. Okay, our aim is preparation of alkenes. Look here, this bond is going to break. So you know that is going to polarize. So it's a positive or negative side maybe there. So here also bond going to positive and negative. Suppose this hydrogen is coming to one end and this another hydrogen is coming to another end. So it's become, how it's possible? The structure become this single bond of triple bonded, this one now, this is going to break. So as a result, double bond CR is there. CR, R dash. We can put a dash is here. Okay. Look here. CR double bond CR. What is this, students? What is this? What is this? Alkyne. With the help of addition of hydrogen, we will prepare alkene. So addition reaction is there. This is an addition reaction. Why addition? In triple bond, we are adding hydrogen, we are getting alkene. Okay, this is an addition reaction for the preparation of alkene. Okay, another one more important preparation, that is very important. You want to keep it in mind. That is, suppose CR in triple bond, CR dash, same thing. Okay. Then H2 hydrogen is there. Over that, What about the reagent? This one you want to notice. What about this palladium in carbon? This is a reagent. It is called Lindlas catalyst. Means catalyst. Lindlas catalyst. Lindlas catalyst. Okay, we will call it is a Lindlas catalyst. Okay, palladium in carbon. Palladium is a metal. In the presence of carbon, it is called as Lindlas catalyst. Okay. So what happened, students? Keep it in mind. In the process, there is a sure question like this. So this is alkyne. Alkyne in the presence of Lindlas catalyst. What happened? It is definitely in the presence of addition. It definitely we know that it will convert into alkene. No issue. So it will convert it into CR double bond CR dash. This is called. What about this? Another. Is this equivalent structure I am drawing here? C double bond C. R dash is here. Here is the R, and then hydrogen is here. Hydrogen is here. Now the valency become okay now. So which type of alkene is there? This is cis alkene. What is this? Cis alkene. Why cis alkene? Because the hydrogens are arranged in the same side. These alkyl groups are in the same side. So hydrogens are in the same side. Na? So we can say that it is a cis alkene. Clear? So in the presence of Lindlas catalyst, alkyne undergo reduction with the addition reaction undergo reduction. We can say that reduction because triple bond is there. Na? Is going to reduce into double bond. That's the reduction is there. Okay. So anyway, cis alkene is formed. Okay. Then suppose I am going to change the reagent. Okay. Suppose I am going to change the reagent. Reagent it means is not Lindlas catalyst. Same reactant, no issue. Same reactant, no problem. But I am going to change the reactant wise. What about the change you want to notice on? I am putting here is lithium in liquid ammonia. Lithium in liquid ammonia. This is another reagent. Okay, I think you are familiar. You are familiar? Lithium in liquid ammonia reagent. Do you know?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no issue, no problem. We will study. Okay, this is only beginning now. So lithium in liquid ammonia, metal. Lithium is a metal. Metal is dissolved in the liquid ammonia. What happened? Look, students. In this time, we can see that a complete change. This will happen. Alkene is forming. Definitely, alkene is forming. No issue. But the arrangement become different. Become hydrogen is here. Then hydrogen is just opposed to that. Then here is R and this is R dash. Sorry, R and R dash. So which type of alkene is that? Students, tell me. Which type?
Trans.
Cis or trans? Tell me.
Trans.
Very good. Trans alkene. Trans alkene. Why trans alkene? In the presence of this kind of type of reagent is we are adding there and now, definitely we will get this kind of trans alkene instead of cis alkene. Clear? This is a major difference between liquid. Which kind of reagent you are choosing? Accordingly, the product becomes changed. Product means, you know, cis and trans alkene is geometrical isomerism. We already mentioned that what do you mean by cis and what do you mean by trans. Okay. So different, but the nature wise, character wise, cis and trans are different. We already studied. Stable one is most stable, I think, trans wise because repulsion is minimum. We already discussed everything. So this is the different product. Clear? Keep it in mind according to reagent device. Okay, cis alkene, trans alkene forming according to reagent. Lithium in liquid ammonia we are doing taking over there. We will definitely you will get trans alkene. Suppose we are using palladium in carbon is Lindlar catalyst. Lindlar catalyst are using. We will get cis alkene. We will get cis alkene. Everything you know. Okay. Can I wrap?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, students. So anyway, preparation side is over. Preparation side is also over. The next one is very important. Chemical reaction wise is very important, right? So some chemical reaction we want to study. They are okay. before I'm going to chemical reactions. Chemical reactions. Okay. Suppose students, CH2 double bond CH2. Which type of alkene is this one? This is called symmetrical alkene. Why? Suppose C double bond C now. Hydrogen is here. Double bond, in between double bond, equal number of substituents over there. In the in carbon containing equal type of similar type of substituents like hydrogen. Here is hydrogen, here is hydrogen, here is, means this is called symmetry. They are keeping a symmetry. Have a look. Symmetry means equals, means putting a means plane here. We can say that both sides are containing equal. So these are called symmetrical alkene. Okay, this is for your information only. Symmetrical alkene. Okay. So my question, next our property, we are checking some addition reaction in symmetrical alkene as well as in unsymmetrical alkene. So first one is symmetrical alkene, and then second one is unsymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical alkene. What about the changes? Okay, symmetrical and unsymmetrical alkene. So we can see that I am giving an example. C double bond C. This is hydrogen. Here hydrogen is there. And then here is also hydrogen. This is called a symmetrical alkene. Suppose in other case, another example, we can see that CH3, CH double bond CH2. Is it a symmetrical? Suppose we are putting a plane here. We are counting, we are checking them. Is it similar? No, it's not similar. Means carbon containing 2 hydrogen. Here is carbon containing hydrogen and 1 CH3. It's look like, how it's look like this we are drawing now. C double bond C now. Here is hydrogen, and then one side is hydrogen and then remaining side is CH3. Have a look. Is it symmetrical? No, never. It is called unsymmetrical alkene. Because we are putting a plane here, means symmetrical line. So we can see that the both sides are substituents of carbons are dissimilar. Dissimilar. So here similar. This is called a symmetrical. Now another question. We are adding HBr. Here also we are going to add HBr. HBr is what, students? Hydrogen bromide. Okay. So HX means any type of halogen, no issue. Chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, everything. X is under that category. So HBr is there. So we are going to add. What happened? This bond is going to break. Double bond is going to break. Okay. Suppose it is shifting to here. One bond Ni is going to shift it to here. Here also, same time I'm going now. So what about the changes? Okay. So here is also here. Okay. So we are going to add HBr. So here it is containing negative charge, partial negative charge. And then here is going partial positive charge. Then here hydrogen, is positive, and then this one is electronegative. So electronegative will attack here. Electropositive hydrogen will attack here, and then Br will attack here. So what about the product? CH2, CH3, one hydrogen, and the second hydrogen, then third hydrogen, means incoming hydrogen from the HBr, this hydrogen, CH3, and then remaining CH2Br. This is your product. Okay, this is your additional product. If we are adding HBr into the symmetrical alkene. Why symmetrical alkene? I'm especially I'm concentrating. Why? Because no issue where it will add it. No issue, because bromine can add here also. And then hydrogen can end up to here also. No issue, because they are symmetrical. But in this kind of situation, it is different. This much clear, students? This much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is symmetrical alkene. Now we are going to concentrate more about unsymmetrical. I can rewrite. Unsymmetrical alkene. CH3. Okay. CH3. Double bond CH2. Okay. We are adding it with a HBr. Bromine. Okay. This is our HBr means hydrogen bromide bond. I told you there are two possibilities. Why? Suppose bond is going to break now. So I am going to shift here. First time. So it will get a positive charge and it will get negative charge. So hydrogen will attack where? Hydrogen will attack here and the bromide will attack here. Right? So its product become how? CH3 CH into here bromine will come Br. Okay? And then remaining this double bond is going to break, so single bond only. Now remaining single bond only, right? Single bond and then CH, this two, one more hydrogen is here. This hydrogen is added to here. Bromine is adding to here. So CHBr and CH2 is already here and then one more additional, that is CH3. This is the product. But student, you want to think one more possibility is there, one more possibility is there. What about the remaining possibility? Second possibility I want to write here, right? Suppose there is a chance shifting, this shifting is ulta. We can do it like this only, also, no issue. So what happened? Suppose we are shifting to here, it will get in the charge and then it will get positive because bond is breaking enough. So deficiency in electrons is there. That's why we are specifying positive sign and then increasing the number means shifting to here. This carbon is more electron rich. That's why they are specifying like this. So anyway, what about the product? Tell me. CH and then this containing negative charge, of course there is a chance of forming CH2 means hydrogen is adding here. Okay, then remaining single bond and then here CH2Br is there. Am I right, students? There is two possibility. Okay, you want to check two possibility. This is the first possibility. This is second possibility. Where you want to note down bromine side. Where is the bromine? Here is in the second side, second carbon. Here is in the suppose we are counting from 1, 2, 3 here, and is this third carbon. So is second carbon. Then which one is major? This is our major question also. Which one is major here? This is the big question. Okay, so what happened during your exam time? I can expect there is a question. They will give this kind of reactant and also in the presence of HBr. What about the product? Okay, in option there are 4 options there. In first option, this one is there. This one is there and another 2 more option is there. You want to select which one? You want to always select the major one, not minor one. Definitely, I know while during the reaction, this is definitely a product now, but this is not a major. This one is major. This one is major. Why? Because are you familiar with the reactive intermediates? In reactive intermediate, there is a carbocation is there. Carbocation. So according to there is no time for explaining this carbocation in more details and come to the point, but I will give a small introduction about carbocation. Carbocation, you are saying which carbon deficient, electron deficient species is contained, suppose CH3. This is a carbocation. Okay, tertiary carbocation is a tertiary carbocation because this containing CH3 is methyl group, this is methyl group. So one carbon is surrounded by 3 carbon. This is called tertiary carbocation. Likewise, stability. I am checking the stability of carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and then primary, like this. Primary means the carbon carrying positive charge is connected with the 2 more carbon again. So please keep it in mind, carbocation stability, tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and then primary. This is the order. Okay. Then what about here? Carbocation, we are familiar with the carbocation now. This is the intermediate. So we want to check which type of carbocation is present in the major. This one is major, So CH3, CH. Okay, this is our original structure. Double bond CH2. Okay, so there are two possibilities. This I told you, this one is major, this one is minor. Why? Okay. Because during the formation of this major compound, there is the formation of carbocation, secondary carbocation. Look now, students. While forming here, here is the positive charge. Na? During this formation, carbon positive charge is settling here. So what is this? This is a carbocation. Carbocation means it is a which type of carbocation? This containing one carbon and then it is shared with other carbon. So it's a type of secondary carbocation. This is a type of secondary carbocation here. Then secondary carbocation here. But in here, during the formation of bond shifting, you can see that positive charge, this positive charge is concentrating here. Positive charge is concentrating here. First carbon. This means that here and concentrating. So it means that it is a primary carbocation. This is called what? Primary carbocation. Primary carbocation. Students, secondary means 2 and then power of 0. This is called secondary. Then 1 is means power as 0. It's called primary. Okay. So this is primary carbocation. This one is secondary carbon. Stability wise, which is stable? Which is stable? Secondary is more stable. Okay. You already know this one. Secondary carbocation is more stable than primary. If suppose tertiary is there, tertiary is there, definitely we want to make priority for tertiary only. We want to avoid the secondary. Okay, so here primary and secondary only. That's why we want to consider secondary carbocation. Like, so we are choosing this one is a major. Clear? This much only. Next one. So, yes, symmetrical and unsymmetrical. This is a very famous Markovnikov addition. You know, I think you are familiar. Markovnikov. This is a scientist name. Markovnikov. Spelling Markovnikov. Okay, Nikov. Markovnikov addition. This kind of famous reaction is called as Markovnikov addition because we want to check the stability of carbocation. Which one is more stable? Tertiary is stable. You want to add like this. You want to consider this is the major one. I think this is the famous reaction in the addition reaction of alkenes. Okay, that is called Markovnikov addition. Clear? So unsymmetrical alkene we are choosing here as an unsymmetrical alkene only. Not symmetrical, unsymmetrical. Not down, not symmetrical, unsymmetrical. Clear, students? Okay. Next one. You want to memorize this one. Tertiary, secondary, primary, carbocation. I think your basics are clear. So no, it's easy now. Tertiary carbocations are you are familiar with them. So no issue. So keep it in mind. Markovnikov addition is sure question. Okay. Next one. One more thing, that is anti-Markovnikov rule is also there. Anti-Markovnikov addition. Anti-Markovnikov addition is also there in case of alkenes. Okay, actually, what is the difference? Difference only in their reagent. Okay, so here they are using peroxide. Do you know peroxide, students? Are you familiar? Peroxide? Anybody? Are you familiar? Peroxide? Yes or no? No. Okay, peroxide. I will give you an example. There is a benzoyl peroxide. Okay, benzoyl peroxide. This is the reagent for anti-Markovnikov rule related to alkene. Remember, we are studying reactions of alkene, different reactions of alkene. So, second one, first of all, we discussed about the Unsymmetrical addition, that is called a Markovnikov addition. Here is anti-Markovnikov addition. Why anti-Markovnikov addition? We are using peroxide in your question paper. Note down. In your question paper, peroxide is there. You can sure that this is an anti-Markovnikov rule like question. Okay, peroxide is there. So suppose peroxide and benzoyl peroxide. Okay. So C6H5 C double bond O C double bond O C6 means carbon C6 5. This kind of represent. This is a kind of benzoyl peroxide. This is a kind of benzoyl peroxide. Okay, what happened? Peroxide means two oxide is now. Look, peroxide. This type of compounds are called hydrogen peroxide. You are familiar. Hydrogen peroxide. H2O2. H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide. How it look like? O, then hydrogen and hydrogen. Here also hydrogen peroxide. See, there is a bond breaking chance. Here also a similar bond breaking chance. Okay. So anyway, keep it in mind. These are peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, benzoyl. So in this time, you want to memorize. This is called a benzoyl. This is called a benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide. What happened, students? You know homolytic fission and heterolytic fission. Homolytic fission. Do you know?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So anyway, it's too much. We want to explain again. So anyway, suppose carbon and carbon is there. This is a bond. Okay. Suppose carbon and X. Alkyl group. The bond is going to shift. Look now. Bond is partially shift. Okay. But here, this bond is going to completely shift. This is called heterolytic bond. And then this is homolytic. This fish hook arrow. Look now. This is called homolytic. Means not get partially. So they are providing partial. So students, once again, one bond is there. One bond means this is the participation of 2 electron in between. So 2 electron. What happened during the homolytic fission? 1 electron is here and then another electron is here. And bond is going to break. So this kind of radical is forming. Okay. This kind of radical is forming. That is called homolytic fission. Radical is forming. That is called homolytic fission. And then suppose here, heterolytic fission. He is called heterolytic fission. What happened? Look, heterolytic fission. This bond is completely shifted into one carbon. So it will get a positive charge and it will get negative charge. How it look like after breaking of the bond, students? This is look like. It will get a positive charge and this is getting negative. Means bond is shifting to here. Completely. Most of the electrons, 2 electrons in a bond containing 2 electrons. That 2 electrons are shifted into here. One of the carbon. This is type of bond cleavage is called heterolytic bond cleavage. And then here is homolytic bond cleavage. Why? Because the electrons are equally distributed. We cannot say it is all the electrons are concentrated into one carbon. It's not like that. It's equally priority. 2 electron is only total, but 1 electron for this carbon, second electron for this carbon. Okay. And then here 2 electrons are shifted to 1 carbon. So these are the difference between heterolytic and homolytic. Okay, what I'm telling here. Okay. Here this is a type of homolytic bond cleavage. Now you are familiar, Anna, for homolytic. Which type? So it will get, this oxygen will get 1 electron and this also get another electron. Very easy. So this kind of bond cleavage is happening. Okay, so we can say that after homolytic bond cleavage, we will get C6, H5, C double bond O dot is there, and then 2. This is same repeating unit. So 2 C6 H5 C double bond O dot. This is a peroxide radical. Okay, peroxide radical is forming. First step of anti-Marconic rule is formation of peroxide radical. Okay, so this one is forming, and then again there is a chance for cleavage. So what happened? This is the cleavage is happening. In this bond is going to cleave. So what happened? These 2 bonds are going forming carbon dioxide. CO2 is forming there. So again there is a 1 radical is again remaining there. That is 2 C6 H5 dot radical. Clear, students? Is it clear? Once again, I will repeat. Anti-Markov addition. In the first step, benzoyl peroxide, C6, H5, C double bond O, C double bond O, one more oxygen is a peroxide, 2 oxygen is there, right? C double bond O, C6, H5, right? This is the first one, is going to homolytic cleavage. So, second step forming C6, H5, C double bond O dot radical is forming. And then there are two times bond is breaking, 2 C6H5 is formed. Clear? Third step, these undergo again homolytic cleavage. So there is a radical. This bond is going to cleave. And then CO2 is forming. Means this bond and this bond are forming. So what happened? During the homolytic cleavage, what happened? 2 C6 H5 dot radical will creating. In the similar manner, 2 CO2 is generating 2 carbon dioxide, means 2 and this one. So this is one molecule. So 2 molecules of carbon dioxide is forming and then 2 molecules. Okay. Then third step, what happened here? Here, what happened? We want to add to, suppose, keep it in mind, C6 H5 dot 1 and then add with HBr. Add with HBr. These undergo homolytic cleavage. What happened? HBr undergo homolytic cleavage. What happened? H dot is there and then Br dot is there. Clear? So this hydrogen Ni is going to here. Okay. So what about the product? Tell me. C6 H5 H6 is there. Am I right? Because C6 H5 so one more hydrogen radical is adding to here. That's why C6 H6 is there. Then what about the remaining? What about the remaining, students? Any idea? What about the remaining radical? Br dot is remaining. Br dot is
Br.
remaining. Understood? Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, this much. I'm repeating because it's very important. Anti-Markovnikov rule type is very. So this one is breaking homolytic cleavage, and then radical is forming again homolytic cleavage. So it's forming C6H5 dot radical along with HBr. These again undergo homolytic cleavage. This H dot is come to here and then forming C6H5. In the beginning, C6H5 after the addition of hydrogen, what happens? C6H6 is forming. But which one is remaining? Br dot is again remaining. Okay. This is a mechanism. Actually, this is a mechanism. Okay. Mechanism only, these are steps. So one more steps are remaining. Now we want to approach the reactant. In question, they are providing like this. In question, they are providing, suppose CH3. This is your question, students. This is your question. This is your question. They are giving like this. CH3 question. This is question. Okay. CH3 CH double bond CH2. CH3 CH double bond CH2. This much only question. And then they are specifying peroxide. Peroxide. What about the product? This is your question. Then how you want to approach this much reaction? You want to memorize. Okay, you want to do it very fast. No need of any time. Okay, so this much setup. So peroxide is there. Then, okay, peroxide. Okay, So anyway, HBr है ना, ये HBr type is helpful for forming peroxide. So anyway, during this reaction, we have Br dot as a HBr. In the presence of HBr is also there. They are also specified HBr. Okay, sure. Peroxide HBr is also. So this much we step we are pointed out. So Br dot is there. So what about what do you want to do? CH3 CH double bond to CH2. This one is your reactant. This reactant is reacted with this bromine radical. What happened? CH2 plus Br dot radical. What happened? One bond you need to cleave and a heterolytic, homolytic, not heterolytic, homolytic. So suppose like this. This is the cleavage is like this. So maybe this will get a dot. This also will get a dot. So one bromine is there should be attached to here also and there also. Means bromide you want to add. So what you will get as a result? What about the result? This one bromine radical, it will attach to here also, or there is a chance for, this is a first chance, second chance bromide can also attach here. So this also a two type of major and minor products are you can expect here. This is depend upon the radical stability of, this is the stability of free radical. This is the related to stability of free radical. Suppose in anti-Markovnikov rule, it is based upon the stability of free radical. Free radical, there are 2-3 type of free radical. Tertiary free radical, secondary free radical, primary free radical, not carbocation. Carbocation is in the Markovnikov rule. Free radical. You are now, I think you are familiar because look now, see, CH3, then dot. This is the tertiary free radical. Why tertiary? This is the carbon is surrounded by 1, 2, 3 carbon more. This is called tertiary carbocation. Sorry, not carbocation. This is tertiary free radical. Then what about the secondary free radical? This is carbon. It is attached with a CH. 1, 2, 3, CH2. So this is another free radical. Okay. So and then primary free radical is also there, na? CH2 dot. CH2. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. No. CH only, na? One bond is breaked. So here 1, 2, 3. One bond is breaked. So radical become forming. Then 1, 2, hydrogen 3. Then one bond is break. Here 1, 2, 3. One bond is breaked. So these are the representation. This is called a tertiary free radical. This one is secondary free radical and this one is primary free radical. So keep it in mind. In anti-Markovnikov rule, in the presence of peroxide, they are providing peroxide. You want to identify, oh, this is anti-Markovnikov rule. Also, this is an unsymmetrical alkene. In the presence of HBr, they are providing. So what happened? During that, there is a product is forming. That product is formed in the based upon the stability of tertiary carbocation. Okay, so product now we can say that the product anti-Markovnikov rule product now major one more stable and less stable is there. More stable one is CH3. This product CH3 CH2 suppose CH3 CH2 Br. This one is major. Okay, another minor is also there. You can solve accordingly. Okay, so anyway, this is the product. Why? With the help of tertiary radical. Tertiary radical is here. That's why we are choosing tertiary radical is more stable. Okay, this much only about the anti-Markovnikov rule and Markovnikov rule. Very important. Very important. Okay, next one, we want to memorize this one. Suppose students, another example. Look, suppose look now, CH CH3, CH, double bond CH2. Okay. Suppose this is the double bond, right? Here also double bond. So here, keep it in mind, most substituted double bonded alkenes are more stable. It's very important. Most substituted double bonded alkenes are more stable than least substituted double bonded alkene. Why? This is a rule is called a Zaitsev rule. Zaitsev rule in chemistry, they are pointing out that most substituted double bonded alkenes are more stable. Then how you identify this is more substituted or not? Okay, I will help you. Look here. It is a double bond. Okay, in between one, two, three, four. So this is a group, and then these are two different hydrogen groups are there. Right? CH2 means carbon is there, two hydrogen. So these are not more substituted. Instead of hydrogen, any other groups are added over there. So we can say that more substituted. So this is one. If we compare 1 and 2, which one is more substituted? This one is more substituted. Why? Here hydrogen is there, and then another carbon is substituted to methyl group. Okay, so this is more substituted. But here both ends are substituted by hydrogen only. No new group. Here methyl group is there, na? So compare 1 and 2. We can say that most substituted alkene is more stable. So here 1 is more stable than 2. Sorry. 1 is more stable than 2. So keep it in mind, most substituted double bonded alkenes are more stable. Okay. Now, in the last moment, you want to solve some questions related to my teaching. Okay, some more question I can add here. You want to solve. Okay, that is IUPAC naming. IUPAC, some little bit tough, not too much tough. If you are familiar with the concern, no issue. Look here. This one. You want to name the compound. How you will name? This is my question. You want to name the compound. How you will name? How you will name? Look. You want to put name starting from here. 1, 2, 3. So 3 methyl. How many methyl groups are you want to specify all the methyl group? Okay. So 1, 3 dimethyl cyclohexene. Why ene? Is a double bond is there. Cyclohexene means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon is there, na? That's why cyclic manner, na? So 1 in first carbon is containing methyl group, and then third carbon is also containing another you can try in yourself. Okay, 1, 3 dimethyl, then cyclohex is a root name, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, long chain containing 6 carbon. So 1, 3 dimethyl cyclohex, 1 ene means 1 ene. There is a double bond in a 1, first position only, na? So that's why. So this is the name, nomenclature. Okay, another. not complicated. So that's why we are learning something. Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, na? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6 is there. 6, suppose. Okay. You want to name. This is like this. What is this, students? Only in during your exam time, they will never specify CH3 group, methyl group. It's only line only. So you want to identify this is a line means it's a methyl group, right? So this is the setup, and then alkene you are putting to alkene is like this. You want to solve. How you will solve? Because definitely you want to number. You want to start. Means alkene containing least number of numbering. Na? So you can choose here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose you are numbering from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it good? No, because the alkene containing big number is not good. We want to avoid that the type of naming. So we want to choose this side, right? So what about the naming? Then tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this hex? Okay. So root name is hex. Then how you will name this one? You want to solve.
Ma'am.
4 methyl 1, 3 hexadiene.
Okay, it's not audible. Okay, anyway, I will tell. 4 is there enough? 4 containing 4 methyl, 4 containing methyl, and then 1 for methyl. Then tell me, you can solve. For methyl, 1 and 1 containing double bond. 3 also 1, 3 hexadiene. This is the name. Why hexadiene? Because 4 methyl is there, right? And then 2 double bond is there. Where these 2 doubles are 1, 3 first carbon, and then third carbon side are double bonds are there. So its name is like this. Hexa means root name is 6 carbon only. So 6. So 4 methyl 1, 3 hexadiene. This is the setup. 4 methyl 1, 3 hexadiene. Keep it in mind. So students, what do you want to do? You can solve a numerous questions from various sides. Now it's available now. So if you are starting to study nomenclature, within 1 day, we are spending 1 day for that. First of all, you want to understand the rule and then solve more questions. Okay, then only you will get the benefit. Okay, I think this institution will providing a lot of questions for solving for you. If you have a competitive mind, you definitely want to practice more and more application level question, not only the direct question. These two are little bit application. That's why I choose here for solving. Okay. Now I'm going to next one. This is your duty for identify. IUPAC naming is over. Then last one, identify the reagent. This is your duty. Identify the reagent. Okay, identify the reagent. This is your question. Okay, I am providing you a question that is in 5-membered ring, double bond O, C double bond O. Here is CH3. Keep this mind. We already discussed number of things. Okay, sorry, CH2 now. CH2. Then C 1, 2, 3, C triple bond C, and then in the last CH3. Predict. This is the setup, and then you want to predict the reagent. What about the reagent? I am providing you the product. Product is in the question is look like double bond O, 1, 2, like this. And then this one. Students, this is your question. Identify what about the reagent over there. Any guess? Any guess? What about the reagent? Which nature is this?
Hydrogen.
Sorry?
Hydrogen.
Sorry?
H2. H2.
So reagent, students, look here. This is which type of alkene is this? Cis or trans? Cis-alkene or trans-alkene? Which one?
Cis.
Very good. Cis-alkene. Why cis? Hydrogen and a hydrogen. Hydrogen is in the same side. So cis-alkene. So one alkyne. This is alkyne. We already know during our theory section. We already discussed. Alkyne. One of the reagent. Already specified. One of the reagent that undergoes some changes and forming a cis-alkene. Which one? Cis-alkene is providing which reagent? Alkyne is converted into alkene. They are providing cis-alkene. Which reagent? Which reagent, students? I think you are knowing that. So which reagent that is? Lin-Las catalyst है ना? Palladium bar carbon. This is the reagent. This is your answer, right? So this kind of lot of option they are providing. Suppose in palladium, if you are in a competitive mind, you can solve this kind of question easily. But if you are preparing for then board exam or something, you want to sometimes they will ask in this manner, means identify the reagent. They can ask a questions, or you want to find out the product also. Okay, product. So they are providing palladium as palladium bar carbon. This is a which one? This is Lin-Las catalyst. They are providing Lin-Las catalyst, and you want to identify the product also. That is also another possibility. But you want to familiar that alkyne is going in the presence of palladium catalyst forming a alkene. Clear? Cis-alkene, not trans-alkene. Okay. Another question. I think this is able to solve very quickly. Okay, that is look, students. CH2, C 1, 2, 3 triple bond, and then CH3. This is your product. Identify again a reagent, and the product I am giving you CH2, C double bond C, hydrogen. Here is also hydrogen, and then CH3. Identify this product, means identify the reagent, student. This is your duty. Done? Hello, students? Is it done? Whatever the product, have a look on that, and then hello, can you hear me, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very easy. Look, have a look on the product. This is alkyne. This is alkyne. Okay, this is alkyne, and then have a look on the product. So this is cis-alkene or trans-alkene. This is trans-alkene. Am I right, students? Trans-alkene है ना? So trans-alkene. So alkyne in the presence of which reagent is going to trans-alkene? Which reagent? Students? Which reagent?
Liquid
Alkyne. Yeah, somebody are telling I'm not clear. Alkynes in the reagent or in the presence of some reagent and forming a trans-alkene. It means that which reagent? Sodium in liquid ammonia. Na in sodium in liquid ammonia. Liquid NH3. Sodium or lithium. No issue. Okay, lithium and sodium in liquid ammonia, we will get trans-alkene. Keep it in mind, it's very important, very important. So they can ask them like that. So suppose they are providing palladium in carbon and here, so they will provide the answer should be cis-alkene. But in the case of sodium or lithium in liquid ammonia, the trans-alkene is forming. Keep this in mind, very important. Trans-alkene. Okay. Okay, this much only related to one more question. Okay, you can solve. Chlorine CH3, it is in the presence of alcoholic KOH. Okay, alcoholic KOH, KOH in the presence of alcohol. Students, this is another question. In the presence of alcoholic KOH, it will undergo one hydrogen is eliminating. One hydrogen will eliminate and then halogen is also eliminating. Okay, and then I already told you which one is more substituted one is more stable enough. So this is the result. Suppose chlorine is going to eliminate. Okay, chlorine is going to eliminate. In the same manner, this carbon containing 3 hydrogen, that one more hydrogen is also going to eliminate. What happened? The product become, can you predict? Double. Here is going on. So it's making a positive charge here. And then proton is eliminating. CH3 means carbon, hydrogen is hydrogen. This one more proton is going to eliminate, not the bond. Bond is still there, right? So the bond carrying a negative charge here. Okay, bond carrying a negative charge here. So this negative and the positive charge combined together forming a new double bond. That is alkene. Alkene is creating, so CH2 is there. This is your product. One of the product, not the major one. One of the product. And then another possibility. Same alcoholic KOH. Another possibility. Can you predict? Another possibility. Halogen should be eliminated. But any other hydrogen, you can see here. Any more hydrogen in the same compound? Here is another 2 hydrogen, suppose. So what happened? This proton is going to eliminate. One of the proton is going to eliminate, and then chlorine is also going to eliminate. So what about the new product? That is this eliminated. So CH3 is as such as chlorine is eliminated. This hydrogen from this side is going to eliminated. Hydrogen only, not proton only, not bonds. Bond is here. Bond is going to shift here. So as a result, double bond is forming here. Am I right? This is the 2 things. Alcohol, suppose any question is like this in the presence of alcoholic KOH. Most substituted is most. Why? How you will identify most substitute? Look now, students. Here is CH2 now. This CH2. Look, suppose CH2 is here. Okay. Carbon is in the middle. Okay. 2 hydrogens are here. This is called the CH2 and then cyclopentadienyl ring. So here is CH3. Here is also 1 hydrogen. Okay. Here is also. So look now. Have a look on the double bond. He is double bond. Which one is stable? This one or this one? Tell me. First one or second one? Which one is more stable out of these 2? Students?
Second one.
Correct. Why second one? Most substituted one is substituted. Most substituted